Hello, everybody. I'd like to tell you about the story of the Democrats and the wicked media decried collusion. Once upon a time, it was some evil Democrats, and they colluded with the wicked media. They wanted to get the evil Queen Hillary to become elected president of the United States. But on the other side, it was a hero named Donald Trump. Donald Trump wasn't a part of the establishment. So the media and them evil Democrats got together and they decided to collude. They wanted to make sure Donald Trump didn't win. So they start making up bad, wicked, evil rumors like he was racist and like he didn't like no Mexicans and he wanted to keep all the Muslims out simply because he hated them, not because it was dangerous to Americans. Well, they even went one step further. They start sending people into his rally pretending that they was protesters, but they was paying them to start violence. And then the wicked media would say things like, look at Donald Trump starting all this trouble. He's violent. Yeah, and people start believing that mess. But the real smart people saw all through it, and they still elected Donald Trump. Well, the wicked media and the wicked Queen Hillary and those Democrats couldn't believe they lost because she ran a horrible campaign. They didn't believe that she lost because she was crooked and she sold uranium to the Russians. They didn't believe that she lost because she was telling the public one thing, and then in her emails it showed that she was really thinking something else. They couldn't believe that she lost because she didn't have a message for the American people. They didn't believe that she lost because she wasn't focused on what the average American likes and wants, but she was more interested in partisan politics and identity politics and all little types of special interest groups instead of the working American. Yes, they didn't believe that she could lose to somebody like Donald Trump because he didn't talk so good sometimes. But anyway, because they couldn't believe it, they had to come up with a diabolical scheme, plan, and excuse. They said that the Russians helped Donald Trump become elected, which I found to be very strange since the former evil, wicked president said on the news, there's no way that the Russians or anybody else could affect our election, and that if you believe it, you would be silly. But now all of a sudden, they were sounding real silly, boys and girls, and they were saying that the Russians did it. So Donald Trump went on for months and months trying to ignore all of this false propaganda. And they kept saying it every time. Collusion, collusion, they would yell. And then the media would jump on board and get excited, boys and girls, and run to their rescue, only to find no evidence of collusion. Then a couple weeks go by. Something else had happened that they might make up, and they would yell, collusion, collusion. And then the wicked media would jump on board once again and get all hyped, come to the rescue of those Democrats, but there was no collusion. They kept doing this for 11 months, despite wasting tax dollars and wasting all the time of America and holding back all the progress that Donald Trump wanted to make and undermining our democracy and also offending all the people that voted for Donald Trump because they was playing politics. So finally, one of Donald Trump's sons had a meeting with somebody from Russia, which really wasn't illegal, boys and girls. You allowed to talk to anybody in the world just because that person happened to be Russian. The stupid media and those wicked Democrats, they yelled once again, collusion, collusion. And guess what? Everybody else looked at them and said, shut up. We sick of hearing about all this collusion. Every time we get excited about collusion, we find out ain't no evidence. So I don't want to hear you yell collusion one more again. You understand me? Wasting all this time and resources chasing down stuff that don't really exist. All because you want to play partisan. I'm sorry, kids. I'm sorry. I just got a little carried away with the storytelling. But the moral of the story, boys and girls, there is no collusion. So you shouldn't yell collusion unless there's some collusion. Because after a while, won't nobody believe you. The end.